Hey there. Today I want to do some exploration of network namespaces in Linux. And right now I'm in this virtual machine. It's an Ubuntu machine that I'm running via Vagrant on a MacBook. Um, so network namespaces are a feature of Linux where you can create isolated networks, and it's used as part of the implementation for containers. And something that I think is quite interesting. One of the commands that you need to familiarize yourself with is the IP command. So this will be included in most Linux distributions. And there's a lot here related to networking, and we're not going to obviously not going to go over everything, but the object, as they're called, that we'll explore is netns. So that's the network namespace. So if we search for that here in the man page, we can see a little bit of information here. But yeah, the short of it is that it's used to manage network namespaces. So how do you see which network namespaces are on your machine? You can do an ipnetns list, and it doesn't show anything here because I haven't created any network namespaces on this machine. So let's create one. So you can just do an ipnetns, and you can always do -- help. Maybe not. You just do help, and it'll give you like some information on the object. So network namespace, to add one, we just simply use the add command. So ipnetns add, and we'll call it my namespace. So now if we do an ipnetns list, then we see our namespace. So if you are familiar with Kubernetes, then you're probably familiar with running commands like kubectl --namespace foo or whatever, and then you run your like get pods or something like that. This flag here is basically saying like, hey, Kubernetes, asking the Kubernetes server to get resources in a particular namespace. So this is crucial for isolation, and it's a similar concept with network namespaces in Kubernetes, where once you target a namespace, you can kind of list the interfaces in that namespace. You can add IP addresses and stuff like that. So I'll clear the screen. And right now I'm the root user on this machine. And if I do an IP link list, this is going to show the network interfaces that I have on this machine. So loopback interface might be familiar for like localhost. We have the eth0, we have a Docker interface, we have a virtual Ethernet interface. Now, the way that we target a network namespace is we can do an ipnetns exec, and then the name of the namespace. By the way, we can also probably just type help here, or maybe -h. No, okay. Well, if we do ipnetns help, then we can actually exec is not on here. Oh yeah, here it is. Never mind. So we can do ipnetns exec, and then the name of our namespace, and then the command we want to run. So I ran IP link list on the host machine directly as the root user, and we have 4 network interfaces. So now I'm going to bring this up to the top, and if I do an exec on my namespace, and I do that same command, so IP link list, then we only have one network interface. So it'll apparently, when you create a network namespace, it automatically provisions a loopback interface. But this is just, you can see the difference when you're targeting or you're execing into a namespace, that it's actually a different network stack. Again, if we run it directly on the host, we'll see different network interfaces. So now with this in our my namespace, in our my namespace network namespace, we only have one interface. Now we can add more interfaces like an Eth0 or a virtual Eth pair. We can do a lot of networking stuff, but in this video I just want to keep a scope to like what a network namespace is, how to create one, and how to list them on your host. But if you want to go further, if there's something you want to see, let me know in the comments, and we can continue to explore this. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.